I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Peddling Fiction Podcast. I'm your host, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Provita. And back with me, of course, try this again with proper sound and proper computer compute is Justin Hillbilly Boy Campbell. I think we're sounding good now.
Hopefully. Well, maybe somebody will be watching live and can let us know if there's anything wrong with it. But I think we've figured out all of our previous issues from the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, so we apologize for that. But yeah, we should be good, I think. I did a complete reset of this computer. See if we're back to my normal settings. One thing I got to do is I got to get a can of that compressed air though and just clean out the fans and everything. I'm wondering if it might just be running really hot and getting, and throttling everything because it doesn't want to overheat too much.
I was playing, I can't remember what it was, but I was playing with a bunch of friends online one night, and my computer kept booting me out of the game, and then the computer would just reboot itself. And I was like, what the fuck? And they were like, well, do you have is it a memory issue? I was like, no, I've got a ton of memory. Like I'm fine on that. They're like, maybe your computer's running hot. And so I just put my hand on the glass over here and it's like, oh yeah, that's it. So I cleaned out.
I'm touching it right now. It's not cool. So that's probably part of the problem.
You're starting to get glitchy again. I bet that is what your problem is. I bet, yeah, you're already starting to glitch out a little bit. I bet your computer's running hot, and that's what's doing it. What's funny about that is I've got Sean's computer sitting over there, and his is custom built for gaming and running this kind of stuff, and it's got like 4 of these massive like 4-inch fans on it and everything. And I was like, I guess I could just switch over and start playing games on his computer because his is literally built for that. And since I started playing games on his, I haven't had any problems. But I still will notice if I get to doing too much, mine will start to warm up a little bit.
Yeah. I'm going to
Yeah, you drop out and swap over to your tablet or something else. I will remove you while we wait for you to get back. And I will kick us off today with a little bit of WNBA talk, since that's what I specialize in. We had discussed it a little bit last week, I believe, some of the stuff going on with the WNBA with Enes Kanter, Freedom, and then Royce White. There have been a couple other former NBA players who have since declared themselves eligible for the WNBA draft. Royce White has really leaned into this and gone big with it, and it's insanely entertaining. Royce White has got the wig and everything, so let's check in on this.
That's your starter kit for the trans life. Wow. And if you come to the state of Colorado, we will pay all included, taxpayer funded. We will remove your Adam's apple and we'll even give you breast implants, just everything that you want. They'll even change the tone of your voice. They'll give you hormones. I mean, this guy, the world is wide open to him now. If anything ever stopped him before, he's going to hit the ground running. And by ground, I mean the basketball court.
Royce White got a wig, has announced, first day is, did the whole, what's his name? Shit, now I'm drawing a blank. Day 3 of being, I don't agree with the criticism of, Royce White, like, of all people, Royce White should know and understand mental health issues and should be more of an advocate. No, Royce White is playing this perfectly because the way mental health is handled is a complete and total joke. They're not actually trying to help anybody. And now the WNBA is going to, the commissioner and the owners are going to sit down and have a conversation about how they define a woman. That is going to be very interesting. I can't wait to see what comes out of that. Because on the one hand, are you going to say that only biological women qualify as women for the WNBA? If they do that, that completely flies in the face of everything they have stood for since the whole Sophie Cunningham comment came out, where they want to be inclusive of trans women and all of that stuff. So if you're going to put in a qualifier that you have to be, you have to be a biological woman to play in the WNBA, well, now that goes against all of their woke agenda and everything that they have claimed to stand for. But then on the other side of it, if they start saying, well, you can have been born a biological man, but you have to go through these steps in order to qualify for the league. Now they're diminishing what constitutes a trans woman. Is identity enough? Is it not? Do you have, like, how do you define this? They're going to paint themselves into a corner where there's not a lot of room for a win here. Like, I was talking about the WNBA thing and Royce White and the others, and how the WNBA is now having meetings, the commissioner and the owners, to define a woman and what qualifies for the league, and they're going to paint themselves into a corner with this, where however they choose to define a woman is going to go against all of their woke ideology. Like, you have to have stated that you're a woman for X amount of time and gone through hormone treatment and all of that stuff. That's not very woke. What about people that just identify as a woman and don't want to do all that stuff? That you're now saying that those people aren't women after years of the whole trans identity thing. All you have to do is say that you are a thing, and then you are. It's going to be interesting to see going forward how they handle this and what the WNBA ultimately decides to do with this, because I don't feel like there's any way they can win short of allowing Enes Kanter and Royce White and every other former NBA player who now chooses to identify as a woman to join the league. It's going to be crazy going forward. As if the WNBA doesn't have enough bad press going for it right now as it is. With Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham and everything else that they've got going on, it seems like every week, if not every time the Fever have a game, there's something else that happens. We've got the most recent incident where the chick clotheslined Sophie Cunningham as she was going in for a layup, and then after getting ejected for deliberately, flagrantly clotheslining her, post white privilege from the locker room. It's like, and then Sophie Cunningham comes out and says, "This wasn't white privilege. I did the same thing in a game last year and got thrown out of the game. That's the way this works." Like, it's just kind of crazy. Like every single game, the WNBA does something else that just makes them look bad. I don't know how the league never made money. They still don't actually make money. Like the crazy thing is for all of the money that they've made the last 2 years, they've still lost money. Like they've become way more popular and ratings and attendance and all of that are up, and yet they're still managing to lose money. And then they've got this big new collective bargaining agreement where all the players get raises and everything. Like the league still loses money. And the answer to where's the money coming from is the NBA subsidizes the WNBA. If it wasn't for NBA owners just basically dumping millions upon millions of dollars into the WNBA, the league would have already been defunct. It's crazy.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now, yeah.
All right. Goddamn. Sorry about that. Of course, I had to restart the tablet for the sound thing. And then I don't think it could handle all the startup shit and the stream at the same time, which is why I was in and then out again.
It's all right. Give me 15 minutes to talk about the WNBA by myself, and I'm fine. I can
Yeah, what did I miss other than the WN? The best part about the WNBA is that nobody is ever talking about the basketball that they're playing. It's always about something else, and it's just so typical of women.
And honestly, that's probably for the best. Did you watch the WNBA All-Star game? Like they tried to do the WNBA All-Star game the way the NBA does their All-Star game, where nobody plays defense and it's just an absolute shootout. And instead, it was just, I mean, the Twitter account Brick Center could probably fill up a year's worth of content just from the All-Star game alone. Like it was just brick after brick after brick. Caitlin Clark was the only player who actually looked like she gave a shit and was trying. And I mean, it was bad.
Yeah, they really shouldn't not guard each other, because at least when they're trying to guard, it gives the illusion that they can make the shot if it's open, if it's wide open. I noticed that they stopped guarding what's her face when she's like not within 5 feet of the hoop or whatever.
Yeah, there have been some highlights from the last couple of Atlanta Dream games where if Angel Reese catches the ball outside of like 15 feet away from the basket, they're not even putting a hand up. They're just like, yeah, go ahead. We'll get the rebound.
Dude, they're cartoonishly bad at it. They're terrible at it. I mean, honestly, like the basketball I played in like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade was much better. Much better. We were probably about the same. We were much shorter than them, actually. Yeah.
And what's crazy is like I worked for women's basketball teams. They can hit open shots. I don't understand why. Like these are supposed to be, the best in the world, the professionals, and put them out there on a court, and it just turns into a complete clown show. It's nuts. I know women's basketball can be played better than this, and it's.
Are there male coaches in the league, or is it all female coaches too?
I don't know. I know like in college basketball there are plenty of male coaches, but I don't know about the WNBA. It would make sense that there wouldn't be any male coaches because it is such a woke league.
Is college basketball worse than the WNBA?
Actually, no.
I can't imagine it being worse.
I think that's the problem that they're having is it's a lower quality game. It's a lower quality product. Like, and it's the entire league purpose is to be a woke platform for feminism and bullshit. Like that's it's not about basketball. It never has been about basketball. It's about equality and feminism and all of this bullshit.
I heard somebody, I don't know this guy's name, but I heard him on a podcast and he was like, the WNBA is just welfare for black lesbians. It's like, or a jobs program. I forget exactly what he said. It's a jobs program or it's welfare, or it's just 100% true. It's just a bunch of black lesbians, dude.
Well,
who are unemployable. They all just have a bunch of African studies degrees.
And the crazy thing is, like, a lot of them, for the longest time, they made so little playing in the WNBA, they were actually making more money going overseas and playing in Europe and Russia and stuff like that. Like that was the whole reason that what's the tall dude, Brittany Griner. That was the whole reason that Brittany Griner got arrested in Russia that time to begin with, because Brittany Griner was there playing for a professional Russian league and took, contraband that you're not supposed to have there, and they actually take their laws seriously. So whenever Brittany Griner shows up with whatever drug it was that she had in her bag, they're like, all right, you get arrested. It's like, we don't do special treatment here. You break the law, you get to go to jail.
Yeah. And dude, remember when we traded like everything? We gave him back like an arms dealer and a couple of other fucking things that they wanted in exchange for this angry lesbian who comes back and shows no appreciation whatsoever, like no newfound respect or anything for America. Still just hates everything, just angry. These are just angry fucking lesbians.
Yeah, what was it was like a Nicolas Cage movie, Lord of War. Like the guy that
based
movie,
off of him.
Yeah, the guy that movie was based off of. That's literally the dude that we gave Russia back for Brittany Griner, and then she's every bit of a annoying cunt that she was to begin with. It's
just a miserable person. It wouldn't be like, oh, thank God I'm back on American soil.
Oh, she divorced her. She divorced her wife too. The wife who pushed the Biden administration to get her back. She divorced that chick too.
Okay.
So net sum zero of like Russia got a complete and total victory off of that transaction.
Yeah.
We needed Trump in office then with the art of the deal. We might could have gotten Brittany Griner and some shit that was actually important back for.
Dude, just keep her. We're good. And you can take Dijonais with you or whatever. What a fucking stupid name.
And then the Sports Illustrated headline from that: Sophie Cunningham got a bitter taste of karma after drawing the flagrant foul, as if saying that we should protect girls in female sports from men is something that deserves to be clotheslined and a flagrant foul. Like
right.
that was her bitter taste of karma.
I heard that they changed that headline later. You can, if you want to go check to see if it's still up there, but I think they changed it probably to something a little less retarded. But yeah, dude, it's amazing to watch them freak out at her over the most benign opinions. And now we have these two dudes that are posting their eligibility for the draft. And dude, these people are even dumber than I thought they were, because they're either pretending to not understand the point that these guys are making, or they're like, well, fine. Well, we're going to force you to get a sex change then. Now you got to get hormones and go get surgery. Then we'll consider you. So they've gone from, it's just a feeling and, who are you to decide how they feel about themselves. And they can declare that they're a woman because that's the way they feel inside too. Now you have to go get a bunch of surgeries and take hormones in order for us to consider you trans. Otherwise, you're just pretending. Otherwise, they're just men pretending to be girls. That's a lot of the position that people are taking now. Did you play that clip that I sent you already?
Yeah.
Okay. I actually didn't even listen to that. I just saw what she was. I saw like what she posted above it, and I was like, oh, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I was talking about whenever you were originally trying to come back, is like the WNBA has painted themselves into a corner. Either you support trans athletes, or you're going to start putting stipulations and requirements on what constitutes a woman as far as trans goes. So if you have to have had surgery and you have to do all this hormone replacement therapy, and that goes against all of the woke agenda of, pronouns mean everything. It's like there is no win in this for the league. And
inclusivity. No, there is no, there's no good choice for them because their position is so retarded.
But the problem is the left doesn't care about hypocrisy. So Like none of that actually matters to them. So they can be as hypocritical as they want. They don't actually care.
Yeah, that is true. I don't even know if they understand the concept of hypocrisy. I'm not convinced. At least on a large scale. I'm sure a few of them can. Sometimes they point out like Republican hypocrisy. But I don't know if they're capable of seeing it in themselves.
Well, and the interesting thing about that is a lot of the times whenever they point out Republican hypocrisy, it's less hypocrisy and more just something they didn't like. Like,
yeah.
Well, talking about them like not caring and changing the what constitutes a woman and everything else. I mean, it's only a matter of time before they start pronouncing all of these pronouns wrong anyway, or pronouncing them their own way. This is great.
These liberal lesbians actually are on our way to drop that
Can you turn it up? I can barely hear it.
Camp Highlight, which is a camp for children of LGBTQ parents or children who identify as LGBTQ. Amazing camp. And
Yeah, dude, it's got a nice ring to it. It's much better than just saying all the letters.
Who identify as LGBTQ.
The only problem is they're leaving out the two spirits. And wait, what was the one that Canada came up with? That's like 8 more letters.
Yeah, it was all kinds of, and most of it doesn't even like. I think that one ended up falling by the wayside pretty quick because a lot of the other initials that were included in it were like, we're not gay, lesbian, anything. We're just people. It's LGBTQ.
Yeah, I do. I like it, man. I don't know. It does sound. It's got all this cachet. It sounds sophisticated. It's great. QIA plus. I just feel bad for the two spirits. There's no way you can get that in there. There's no way you can get that in there without saying two spirits. Although I shouldn't underestimate their ability to make some retarded sound. It really is something, man. The amount of time that they spend thinking about this stuff. It just, don't you have anything else to do? There's nothing.
I like the auto caption on this because she says LGBTQ and it translates that as Litchfield. Just gonna start calling them Litchfields.
Yeah, it's about as accurate as "Let's Go, Brandon." Dude, I don't even know what these people are. The fact that anybody even pretends to take them seriously, still just I can't wrap my head around it. They take like indefensible, ridiculous positions. When you actually try to pin them down on their beliefs, they have no answers. They have no argument. They just run around in circles, or sometimes they just get up and walk away. They've spent more of their lives coming up with letters to add to the acronym and ways to pronounce it than anything else. Oh man. And then sorry, I want to go back to the Dijonais thing where she claimed to not be talking about white privilege or not be talking about the foul when she threaded white privilege and tagged the basketball team.
Yeah, it was totally not about white privilege. She just was bored in the locker room and decided to say white privilege.
It had nothing to do with
the foul.
It had nothing to do with her getting kicked out of the game because of the flagrant 2 foul or anything. It just happened. She tweeted it or texted it or posted it, whatever, immediately after and tagged the team that she was playing against.
Yeah.
Totally unrelated.
Totally.
What was it related to then? I'd like to know.
Did you see the people that started bringing up? So apparently her dad played in the NFL for like 8 years and is a millionaire. Her mom played some sport and is also
she ran track or something like that. I heard.
Yeah. She was an Olympic track athlete. This chick went to Stanford, has like 2 degrees from. Granted, one of those degrees is in African studies. So, yeah, so I'm sure that.
That shouldn't be a thing. None of these studies should exist. Like, could you imagine if I went to like some school and I was like, oh yeah, I studied, I majored in Caucasian studies. What? That is retarded. Why would anybody, like, you don't need to go to school to study that. You just read books on your own.
And what's the job field for that? Like,
teaching it to other people.
Yeah, like if you're doing African studies, then the only field for your job should be you get shipped off to Africa to study Africans over there. Like it's
no, you get to teach African American studies to other people. It's one big circle jerk. And then you get to go out there and try to lecture people on their inherent unconscious bias, which is another just circular retarded argument that they come up with. And by the way, she's appropriating a lot of whiteness in her hairstyle. I know she's got long blonde hair. The fuck's that about? Why is she appropriating my Caucasian culture?
Oh, here we go. Okay. So since we're talking about African American studies and all that stuff, I know we've discussed this before. The most educated demographic in the country is Black women. Black women currently are achieving or attaining, I guess we should say, more college degrees than any other demographic. What are those degrees in, you might ask?
I'm going to get engineering, physics, all the mathematics.
Social work, community organization, human services.
Dude, that cannot be a fucking major.
And public administration.
Community organization's a major?
Yes.
God damn it, dude.
20% of the Black women attaining degrees get it in human services and community organization. 19% in social work, and then 38% get it in administration services or public administration, some sort of admin type of a degree. So, like, this is why they get so mad about Trump reducing the number of government employees, because it's 100% of the jobs that they are going to college for is what's being reduced, because it's completely useless.
Yes, these are not productive jobs. I remember the first time I heard community organizer. I think that was like Obama. That was like the first time I'd ever heard of somebody being a community organizer. It was back in like 2000 when he was running for president. He was a former community organizer. It's like, what the fuck does that even mean? I still don't know what that means. How do you what does one person do to organize a community? Do you just hold like meetings or something? You're just like an HOA essentially, but like you don't have any power. I don't understand what a community organizer is. It's code for I'm a worthless sack of shit.
They raise a lot of money is what they do. Now, what happens to that money is more often than not, it gets filtered into and out of the system. It's basically a giant money laundering. Community organization is basically a giant money laundering service. If you start digging into it, it's all these NGOs and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, but like, what do they even claim to have accomplished? Like, I don't know what they say they're going to do, and then have they actually done something? Like, I organize this community. I don't know what that means. You put people in like a single file line. I put up a stop sign over there, like to make it a little more organizational.
What do community organizers do? Community organizers are individuals who mobilize people around a shared cause to create change. That's it. That's the entire definition of community organizing.
Yeah, we're professional wastes of space.
Yes.
Okay. And we help organize other fucking losers who aren't doing anything on a Wednesday. Okay. Yeah, we need some more. Dude, I still can't believe it's a major. It doesn't even sound like a real thing, let alone I'm going to go pay fucking 40 grand a year to do it, to learn it. God damn, dude, I just hate. How do we hit the reset button on this planet? That is ridiculous, dude. Community major. Dude, how many of those majors do you think you could take at once? And oh god,
The picture
guide to making a difference.
The picture says it all. I mean, for those who aren't watching the video, just look up Community Organizing 101, a beginner's guide to making a difference, and just look at the picture that they use for it. Like it tells you everything you need to know about how worthless these people are.
Yeah. So what is that practical tip? You want to keep going? I need to learn the tips. We need to make a difference here. What's number one? What's the first thing they hit you with?
Why it matters. Here we go. Organizing gives communities a seat at the table. It's how everyday people challenge powerful systems, like when residents push for safer streets or advocate for affordable housing. According to a study by the University of Chicago, organized communities are 30% more likely to influence local policies than unorganized ones. What's the difference between an organized and an unorganized community? This is all like just complete bullshit.
Do you go around and get signatures on something that you want your local politicians to do?
Community safety, and then they also advocate for putting judges in place who let people out with a slap on the wrist for literally stabbing somebody 17 times on a train or setting somebody on a fire on a train. Let 36-time felons walk the streets. It's like,
yeah. You know what else I've noticed? All the really nice, wealthy communities don't seem to need organization.
Crazy how that works.
Haven't noticed that. I wonder if they have these kinds of community organizations in other countries. I'm a community organizer. I would be so embarrassed to have to tell people that's what I did. I'm still like slightly embarrassed about my history degree. Like, that was a waste of time.
Something of a community organizer myself. About once a year, I'll have a bonfire and get a bunch of alcohol and grill up some burgers and hot dogs and have everybody in the neighborhood.
Dude, if you fed like 35 people, you would have accomplished more than any community organizer has actually done. At least like you have benefited more people than all the community organizers combined. It's just the hot dogs and hamburgers. God damn it, dude. These people are so fucking worthless. We need to start hosting, like, this is what we need to do. Like with ICE, we need an ICE type thing where you hold like fake community organizing things and to just round these people up and ship them off somewhere.
Johnny, now it's probably for the best if we don't feed people, because if we feed them, then they get fat.
Very still. I'm working right now. This. Ouch! Oh, I'm sorry. Did my pen get in the way of your ass? Do me a favor and lose 5 pounds immediately, or get out of my building like now!
All these years, I thought I was overeating. I was standing there with all the food noise, what I ate, what I should eat, how many calories was that, how long was it going to take. I thought that was because of me and my fault. Yeah. Now I understand that if you carry the obesity gene, if that is what you have, that is what makes you overeat. You don't overeat and become obese. Right. Obesity causes you to overeat. Right. Obesity causes you to have all of that food noise. Yeah. And what the GLP-1s
food noise
for me, and I know a number of other people, is to quiet that noise.
Yeah. I think there is probably a genetic predisposition in some people to more food noise versus less food noise, but there is no obesity gene, right? So Oprah got on The View a while ago and said, I have the fat gene. No, you don't, Oprah. You may have a predisposition to more food noise, which is this constant thinking and craving of food. But that food noise, and this is where the conversation gets interesting for me, that food noise comes from the processed food. And that, to me, is what no one is talking about.
Okay. I didn't even listen to the second half of that clip where they got into the food noise part. I'd never heard that before. But I love putting this cart before the horse. Like, everything is backwards. Is there anything on the planet that somebody is at fault? Like, is it their responsibility? Is anybody responsible for anything ever anymore?
You're not
besides straight white males, obviously. I get it. I'm responsible for everything. Everything that's wrong in the world is my fault. But is anything else like somebody else's fault?
You're not fat because you overeat. You overeat because you have some genetic predisposition towards it. And that's why you need the GLP-1s, because those will stop you from having that genetic predisposition.
Dude, this is like we've reached a new tier. This is like S tier of fucking victimhood. You're not fat because you ate too much. You eat too much because you have a genetic, something's wrong with you. It's not your fault. Okay. Yeah. So if I just started like clearly I don't have a fat gene. Doesn't look like I do. But if I just started stuffing my face for the next 6 months and got fat, how would they explain that? I had the fat gene, it just dormant for 42 years.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
And then the noise just became overwhelmed. Like that, it was just like the
you
guys
probably
on the
had
beach here. It was just the food fucking banging noise.
You probably had some unrealized trauma that triggered it and caused it to start kicking in. I have a ton of food noise. I just want to eat all the time. I also like working out and running and not being a massive giant fat fuck. So while
I don't like working out, but I do it 6 days a week. I hate every fucking second of it. But I hate it. I hate it less than being a fat piece of shit community organizer. So I go to the gym.
Well, I've talked about a few years ago after we rebuilt or remodeled the house and everything, I was wore the fuck out and decided to stop working out and doing stuff. And I went to get in my truck one day and I put my seatbelt on, and when I did, I pinched a fucking fat roll. I was like, all right, this shit's got to go. I have gotten fat enough, and why don't all these obese people have that gene that tells them, hey, you're too fucking fat, go do something about it?
I don't know. Well, then they wouldn't be obese.
That's the accountability gene. That's the problem.
Yeah, dude, there is no, not only is there no accountability, but for my entire life, there's been this huge movement, mostly of community organizers, to alleviate people of responsibility. They're constantly telling you, oh, it's not your fault. It's because of this, systemic that. Look what it is. Dude, they have destroyed an entire fucking country of 300 plus million people with this victimhood, lack of responsibility, lack of accountability mentality. And it permeates through everything. Oh God. I'm always just reminded of the as good as it gets quote. How do you write women so well? I think it's an accountability. It's just perfect. It's the perfect explanation. Yeah. Man without reason and accountability. And there you have Oprah. Billionaire Oprah. Hundreds of millions of women look up to her and listen to her, take advice from her, value her opinion on things. It took me I don't know how old she is to get this revelation. Is she 60 something now?
And how many times has Oprah gotten fat and then gotten herself in shape, gotten a dietitian, and started to exercise? And then whenever she has done that, she's been very big on diet and exercise and everything else. And then she eventually gives up on that, gets fat again, and now she's on the GLP-1s. So, never mind all of the times in the past when she got skinny because of diet, exercise, accountability, actually,
all the white supremacy stuff. Yeah.
Actually taking some responsibility for your life. No, she just needed to understand that she had a genetic predisposition and she needed something that would shut that down.
Well, dude, the funny thing is that it is sort of like a tacit admission that it's about self-control. Because you don't have to listen to all the food noise. You just couldn't control yourself. So even if you do have this obesity gene and it's constantly telling you to eat all this food and that's what makes you fat, that's not really what's making you fat, is the fact that you have no self-control. And you just weren't strong enough to not listen to the obesity gene, to overcome it. Because apparently people can overcome it. Oprah has.
So if the obesity gene is a thing, is also being a retarded communist a gene too? Because this dude is like, this dude's hitting for the cycle here.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Mike.
Mike? Hi, where are you from, Mike?
Hacienda Heights, California.
Okay. And what brings you out here to Ranchos Palos Verdes?
Yeah, I just want to say fuck Trump to his face or his supporters' faces, and I've already did that, so mission accomplished. Well, his supporters, but haven't seen him yet. But yeah, okay. I'm waiting. I'm hoping he's gonna pass by here soon. So.
Dude, he looks. It's just the perfect image to associate with communism. If you're just listening, he's just like a fat amoeba with no real shape. He's just like this fucking fat thing wearing like a blanket with the hammer and sickle on it because it's the only shirt size that fits him. Neck beard, big stupid fucking glasses. I guarantee you he's bald. He's wearing a hat.
The definition of irony,
the genetic lottery that this guy lost is off the charts.
The irony of selling a communism shirt in anything larger than a large is insane.
Yeah. Well, the real funny thing is that if they were living under communism, they wouldn't need extra large shirts because they'd all be fucking starving to death on the Maduro diet. Yeah, not surprisingly, he just has no good answer. He can't even define what he believes, what communism is. I don't even know if we have to listen to all that.
It's like 3 minutes, and he talks about how terrible capitalism is and all kinds of other stuff. Dude is like,
yeah.
Has
there ever been like
retarded communist? Like, he hit for the cycle. The patchy beard, everything
patchy,
about this dude.
Yeah, he could probably grow more neck hair than he can facial hair. It's just, the vast majority of them look like that. There's usually like one grifter who's like better looking, who they all look up to, and they rally, like the Hassan Pikers of the world or something.
It's this one. This is the one that they look up to. This is
They them energy. They them energy. They them energy. Energy.
Did they sell tickets to that, or was it just free? Is that a free concert?
This is a public service announcement. Anyone dressed in androgynous outfits. This is a sweet and friendly reminder that you are safe here. Show off your binder.
Dude, it took me I had to listen to it twice I didn't know what she was saying at first. The they them energy. They them energy.
That right there. That is the they them energy. Woo.
Yeah, it's perfect.
This is what community organizers spend most of their time doing, is putting on concerts to talk about they them energy.
Yeah. Oh my God. But dude, they're having a moment. All these the communists and the Democratic Socialists of America. Their stock is on the rise. And they're just going to try to laugh off all of their previously retarded held beliefs in hopes that we've forgotten about them. And I don't like. They really do need the AOCs and the Mamdanis of the world to be their spokesperson, because without them pretending to be whatever these people are, you are just left with fat slobs.
And they are definitely pretending. Don't ever let them trick you. They are 100% pretending.
I think that with the interesting thing about our communities here is I think that minority communities, because we have never had representation, we are tied much more to identity. White communities, they've had representation forever. And so for them, their tie is a little less identity and a little more ideology. And so what I mean by that is we have a lot of voters here who think of themselves first as progressive voters. And so we reach out to them speaking about our platform, our progressive platform. And you're very right that you need someone in the middle to be a validator, someone to tell them to trust us, believe in us. We've had that with Tiffany Caban and Cynthia Nixon.
Yep. So we just need to tell them about our progressive platform and convince them that we are one of them. And then they'll do whatever the fuck we want. I mean, that's the admission that Mom Donnie makes here. Not that like you and I and anybody with two brain cells to rub together figured it was anything other than that. Like none of the progressives who are in power actually care about progressive politics or ideology or any of that stuff. They're using it as a way to get progressives to vote for them, because progressives are ultimately retarded and don't care about anything other than saying the right thing and being in support of the right thing. I guarantee you, if Trump came out tomorrow and said, you know what, we're going to open the borders back up and we're going to let another 11 million immigrants in, tomorrow the Democrats would suddenly be pro-ICE.
Well, because he'd be letting in like white supremacists somehow or something, right? Like, oh, we don't want to let the people that he wants. Remember when he gave like somebody, I forget which country it was, or it was just the white South Africans.
It was the white South Africans.
Yeah. There might be something there with all these like fat losers that have never been included in anything. They just want to be included in a group, which is why they go along with everything all the time. And they're very easy to manipulate. They will do whatever you say. They take pride. Remember how much pride they took in obeying the Fauci declarations during COVID? Like that was their badge of honor. Like, look how many masks I can put on.
That's the thing that convinces me that if Trump came out tomorrow completely in support of all immigration, doesn't matter what it is, we're just going to open up the borders and let them all in, that the left would immediately become pro-ICE and pro-deportation. Because before COVID, they were the ones who were leading the anti-vax campaigns. They were the ones who didn't trust Big Pharma, didn't trust the science, weren't getting their kids vaccinated. And then 2020 happened. The government starts pushing all of this stuff. And now the same people who in 2018, 2019 were super anti-vax, anti-Big Pharma are now the biggest shills for it on the planet. Got to trust the science. Trust the science. This is the same science that you didn't trust 6-7 years ago. What happened? What happened? What made the science and Big Pharma suddenly trustworthy when it wasn't? Literally, months before COVID happened.
Yeah, they were always the all natural granola type people. Yeah. And now it's just take the poison. Take the poison, even if there's concerns over pregnancy, miscarriages. Did you see any of that? Yeah. Can you read that?
So this is from Dr. Fauci. I asked around a bit more, and another issue came up that you need to be aware of. Since many people have significant cytokines, storm, and fever after the second dose, this theoretically could be associated with miscarriage in the first trimester. So Dr. Fauci was expressing concerns in January of 2021 that the second dose of the COVID shot could theoretically be associated with miscarriage in the first trimester.
And then what was the where did this 82% number come from that Rand Paul posted? Did you see that?
I did not.
Let me see if I can find it. It was like something that they said was like in the trials was 12%, but it turned out to be 82%. And I've seen all kinds of people disputing that. Like, listen, that the point is not whether or not it was an 82% chance of a miscarriage if you got vaccinated. The point is that there was a risk and he was concerned about it behind closed doors. But then he would go out on every single station and every TV channel, and he'd go to neighborhood, knock on their doors and tell you that it's completely safe. Yeah, this one.
So the mandated and doctor recommended COVID-19 shot for pregnant women was effectively an abortion shot, according to new documents released by Senators Johnson and Paul. The authors claimed a miscarriage rate of 12.6%, but the raw data revealed an 82% miscarriage rate in women vaccinated during the first trimester. This is consistent with the 81% miscarriage rate noted in the Pfizer 5.6 post-market data. These figures mirror the effects of chemical abortion drugs such as RU-486.
486. Yeah, that's the abortion pill. So, look, I don't know, but what I do know is that Fauci didn't express any of these concerns publicly. None of them. In fact, he said exactly the opposite. He oversold it in the opposite direction. And anybody that brought up these types of claims, I don't think I sent you that one. The CNN did this whole expose on a doctor that was like questioning the efficacy and the safetiness of these vaccines and mask mandates and things like that. And they did this whole thing where they chased him down. They went to like 4 different fucking cities looking for it. Like, we went to his house here, I went to his house there. We chased him down like biking. It was the most work you ever saw CNN actually do. And it was going after this guy to try to get him, basically, I think, just get his face out in public to try to shame him or something for being what turns out to be 100% justified in his concerns. But like, Fauci wasn't saying any of this publicly. It was the exact opposite. And for what, like, somebody else made this point where it's just like, why are all the people that didn't take the vaccine more upset than the people that were actually duped by this?
Because
isn't that an interesting little dynamic?
Because if you admit that you were duped, then you have to admit that you were wrong and that you have some regrets. And they
people
cannot
would rather die than admit they were wrong.
Yes,
my takeaway.
That is exactly what it is.
It's amazing, man. Dude, the whole COVID thing was an unbelievable experiment in just like human, what's the word I'm looking for?
Subordination?
No, I don't know. I guess just humanity. I don't know, dude. Their dispositions and I don't know.
It definitely highlighted who is capable of independent critical thought and who will only do exactly what they're told by the TV, by the politicians, by the science or the experts.
But it was everything. Yeah, it was like a massive test to see what kinds of manipulation tactics work on people. And man, they're pretty effective. They got people. I mean, yeah, obviously you're just gonna the whole you say the lie over and over again and people will just believe it. There's that. But they've gotten people to stick up for the guy that was lying to them the whole time. Like, they will go and die for him. Literally, they will die to prove this point.
The lengths that they go to bend over backwards to defend Anthony Fauci is fucking insane. I think we might have talked about it whenever the Fauci files first came out a couple weeks ago, or whenever he was pleading the fifth to literally everything. Like, somebody said something about, or I saw a post where somebody was like, "Oh, I remember what Fauci did for AIDS back in whenever, and I'll never think anything badly of him. It's like, do you actually know what he did though? Like, did you actually look that up? Like, did you see what his role was in that? Like, that alone, you should distrust him, not trust him more.
But dude, even if let's say he did like a tremendous job with AIDS, like he solved the whole AIDS crisis and he did all these wonderful things, and then he went around and killed 10,000 people. Okay, like he still killed 10,000. Like right now, I haven't really done anything horrific in my entire life. But if I just went down there and slaughtered like 500 people at the pool, you'd be like, oh, but he was like such a nice guy right up until he slaughtered 500 people at the pool.
I will 100% defend you, Johnny. You are
like, okay, but like, yeah, who cares about, like, Hitler was a really nice guy. Hitler was just an artist.
That's right.
He was just doing sketches and paintings and things, like some fucking painting landscapes. And then he slaughtered a couple 100,000 people. Okay. It's just a stupid argument. And it doesn't address the things that he did now, which is he is responsible for creating this virus that, according to their, like we said, according to their retarded math, killed like 30 million people. Okay. But he helped. He was a public servant. Yeah, by the way, he's making, somebody was posting the number, he makes like 415,000 a year.
Yeah, he was like the highest paid public servant in the government.
Yeah, public servant. A public servant that's making like 30 grand a month in retirement. Okay. Yeah, just public servants. Unbelievable, man. Yeah, he's a public servant that's making 5 times what the average person is.
I'd say, speaking, since we are talking about the vaccines and stuff, and the animosity that the left went after certain doctors and stuff with, like, there was a doctor, I want to say it was in either Oregon State or Washington State, that refused to follow the vaccine guidelines for children. And like, the dude developed a massive, very successful practice pre-COVID because he would only administer what parents wanted the kids to have. He wouldn't go on the guidelines and the CDC vaccine schedule. If you wanted your kid to have certain ones, he would do those, and if you didn't, then he would only do the ones that the parents wanted. They went after him and got his medical license revoked for a period of time following COVID because he wouldn't go on the vaccine schedules. Now they are going to change the recommendations for the vaccine schedules.
This is your executive order on establishing gold standard vaccine recommendations, sir. As previous speakers have indicated, this is going to establish essentially a new vaccine schedule that is fully informed by the research and data that we have from HHS and NIH and other aspects of the government. It also takes a very hard line on some of the more paternalistic issues that we've been talking about here, sir, in terms of infringing on parents' religious liberty, or really just parents' ability to make decisions for their children. So as Heidi said, this is a very big deal. We're not waiting for anyone else to take action, as you do so often, sir. We're just going ahead and doing the right thing based on all of the best available research to ensure that America's parents and children are being as best protected by the federal government as they can be.
Very good. Thank you very much.
I like how he always signs them with these cartoonishly big pens.
I know. It's a Trumpian.
Okay. That's a big one in my book.
I love when he holds it up too. That's always a great like meme template or whatever. So this is what they reduced it from like 70 something to 11.
Yes, and that's so the left is freaking out about this. It's like, oh my gosh, now our kids can't get all the vaccines they need. No, that's not. This just says that the recommended, the ones that are required by government standards, is reduced from the 72 or whatever it was to 11. They're the 11 most important ones that, the ones that would have been required, when we were kids, or maybe even earlier than that. So they cut out a whole lot of the excessive bullshit. So all the leftists that are like, oh my God, Trump's saying they're not going to let anybody get their vaccines. You still have the option. If you want to have your kid injected with every fucking thing that they've ever cooked up, you are more than allowed to subject your kid to being a human fucking pincushion. This is just saying that the people who are a little skeptical of at 77 or 72 or how many ever vaccines are supposed to be on the recommended schedule for an 18-month-old don't have to subject their kids to all of that stuff.
Yeah. The key word being recommendation. Recommendation. You can take it or you can leave it. Dude, personally, I'm not taking 70 of anything. I don't care what it is. Like that, just on its face, that sounds ridiculous to me. I can't believe the number got that high. And it's all just, it's all big pharma fucking scams. Down to 11 seems like a lot to me. There are not 11 things that I could name that I'm worried about getting. I think polio is like the only one. It's like, I don't want to get polio.
Well, like people compared a lot of these vaccines and stuff to polio and other stuff. It's like, those are the difference between fucking smallpox and chickenpox is, massive. It's the difference between shooting somebody with a BB and launching a fucking nuclear warhead at somebody. That's like, oh no, if we don't allow, or if we don't force every kid on the planet to get chickenpox vaccine, then we're gonna have an outbreak of chickenpox. It's like, yeah, we lived through that. That was like,
I mean, it was not fun, but you itch for a few days and then you don't.
I think I'm naturally immune. I've never got chickenpox. I've still, to this day, have never gotten it.
They've been telling people like, oh, you need to get the shingles vaccine, because once you get chickenpox, you have shingles just laying dormant, waiting to come out. Shingles is apparently very painful. It just looks like it looks like blisters, like herpes sores or something, and it can show up anywhere. A buddy of mine had it like on his arm, and my cousin had it. Like, she was at the about to go on like a trip or something. She got it. She said it was like really, really painful. I don't know. Okay, I guess I'll just get shingle. Like, I'm just gonna get it. I'm gonna have like a rash for a couple of days, and then I'll be fine. I'm not first of all, I'm just lazy. I'm not doing these things that are unnecessary. I'm just the fucking lazy guy to begin with. But 11 seems like a lot to me. 11 seems like a lot. 70 sounds cartoonish. 70 of anything. There's just way too many medications to be on. And like a little tiny kid, like they don't even weigh like 70 fucking pounds, and you're putting 70 different fucking things in them. That seems insane. It doesn't seem like there wouldn't be any adverse effects from it. So I would be into looking into those things a little more. And I love the people that go, there's no evidence that taking 75 of these things has any adverse effects on people. Like, versus spreading it out. Okay, but like, just intuitively, doesn't it make sense if you have to take 70 of something, you spread it out a little bit? Are you gonna eat, if I said you had to eat fucking 70 hamburgers, you're gonna do it all in one sitting? Or would you like to spread it out over a week? Like how it, they'll object to anything. If Trump just didn't change the amount, he just said, okay, you give it to him over 5 years instead of 5 fucking seconds, they would freak out over that. Like, oh, well, they're not all going to do it. They're going to like forget to make the appointment, blah, 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 blah. These motherfuckers, dude.
Well, and that's another thing that it's like, they don't want anybody to have personal accountability for anything. But at the same time, because people don't have personal accountability for anything, that's why we can't trust anybody. So we have to have the government enforce all of this stuff because people can't be trusted to be accountable. It's like you don't want accountability, but because there is no accountability, now you say that the government needs to dictate and mandate everything. It's like
through the use of flock cameras, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with these people. I don't know what to do with them. But this seems like a step in the right direction. They're no longer making ridiculous recommendations that your baby needs 72 different injections. Or do they combine like 7 into one injection or something?
I know some of them are like combo shots. They're like 4 or 5 different things in one shot. And like a lot of times 1 or 2 of the things that are in that are like, why is that? Why is that even?
It's just like the legislation where they throw it's like a bill on
and it's like
inflation or something, and
then it's like, does it really seem safe that you're combining this many different things into one shot? Like, I feel like there's some chemicals in there that maybe you don't want to be sticking in a 12-month or a 12-month-old, 14-month-old. It's just
and then I can tell you without even looking at any of these trials that they've done, they never tested it like that. They never tested giving you a fucking cocktail of like Hep C, polio, mRNA this, mRNA that. No, they tested them individually, like in a vacuum. They didn't mix them together into some fucking potion that gives you 7 different things. 100% they didn't do that. So yeah, I don't understand what the big objection to any of this stuff is, man. It seems very, very logical.
Sorry, I gotta change the setting on my mouse. I've got a button on the side of my mouse that when I bump it, it goes back and then drops studio.
That's all right.
It's perfect for gaming, not so good for podcasting. I go to click something on the mouse and bump this button on the side, and then it resets my screen.
Oh, you gamers. Gamers.
Better get out of that better get out of here on that before I hit another wrong button and fuck something else up.
Yeah, we might have to save some of we didn't really get into any of the woke stuff.
Well,
we
I want
did,
to do
but
like I want to do like all AOC Friday. Like Friday is just going to be let's go headlong in on the AOC bullshit.
That'll be good. That will be good. We'll see if our eggs are frozen by then. So yeah, we have our regularly scheduled program Friday and a Friday night happy hour, I think, right? I think it's Friday night happy hour night. So the supporting listeners will get an email about that. I will be posting another update to the fire portfolio. I did one last night. Would have been out sooner, but Justin locked me out of the StreamYard thing. He was too busy playing video games. They give me the password. That wouldn't matter. I wasn't going to post it until after market close anyway, so it didn't affect anything. And actually, if you were trading on my advice, which you're not supposed to be doing, you got a much better price today anyway.
Say it worked out for everybody.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be doing that anyway. It's not a signal service. Don't do that. And if you did do that, you'd probably be down. Well, actually, it closed off the lows today, so we'll see what happens tomorrow with CPI. I got CPI tomorrow, Friday night show, Friday night happy hour, Friday show, Friday night happy hour. And the following week, we have the Jackson Hole Summit. So yeah, a lot of eyes on the Fed, FOMC, horseshit, inflation. You get to see how much your burrito is going to cost you next year based on their numbers. And I think that's about it. You got anything else going on?
Nope. Nope. I'm done with other stuff. I'm just doing this and the morning show and writing some. So
sounds good. Well, Till next time, guys, you know what to do. Just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.